Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another TCM video. We gotta talk, but first let's go over the patch notes that are going to be released on September 19th that was dropped by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre devs on their Twitter page. It's very family sided in my opinion. So first things first, it's important to note that they are doing more bug fixes and a lot more measures to tune and improve their anti-cheats, which is really good. So maybe eventually we can expect more news on the crossplay possibly coming back so we can have fuller and quicker lobbies. The next thing, they fixed a bug with Sissy where every single one of her attacks did actually have a poison effect. Her normal attacks will no longer have that, but the special blend can still provide poison attacks on her next strike, and rubber legs will still slow down victims already affected by poison, so that is not going to be changed at all. Next, they fixed a bug where players are blocking themselves somehow, which caused issues in matchmaking and a bunch of other errors. Like, I don't know how people block themselves, but that's actually kind of hilarious. Next, guys, they changed the fuse box location on Slaughterhouse. The fuse box will no longer spawn next to the Slaughterhouse door. So if you guys know where that little alleyway is coming out of the hen house leading into the Slaughterhouse, typically there would be a fuse box spawned right there. Apparently they're saying that it's a little bit too easy for victims to, you know, rush the fuse box and get back down to a fuse box door escape in the basement because it's kind of just a straight shot. Now, I have my own opinions on this, but let's talk about it in the end, and you can feel free to stick around if that's what you want to talk about. So they added in a brand new spawn point for the actual fuse box that's going to be located near the shed by the valve exit. Next, guys, they changed the valve handle spawn points on Slaughterhouse also. They moved the spawn point location of the valve handle on the side of the garage to be in a more high traffic area. They moved the spawn location of the valve handle that's typically on the side of the animal pen to be also in a more high traffic area. Now, guys, let's talk about these two perks that they absolutely just nerfed into the ground. Efficient grappler perk levels reduced. So the perk, as of right now, guys, the perk provides a 10, 15, and 25% chance at level 3 to keep your scrap after a close encounter. They're going to be nerfing it to 10, 15, and 20. That's nothing crazy, right? But this next perk that they're nerfing is a literal just destroyed it. So if any of you guys use efficient backstabber, yeah, you're not going to be very happy with this. All that time you put to get it to level 3, well, right down the drain, because now instead of a 20, a 30, and a 40% chance to keep your scrap after a backstab, well, it's now going to be 10, 15, and 20. You can't tell me this isn't looking a little family sided. Next, guys, for Leland and Connie, they both got a nerf also. Notice how only the victims are getting nerfed and Sissy got a bug fix that wasn't even supposed to be there in the first place. Let's talk about that. Connie's ability and Leland's ability, both base cooldown. They added time to the base cooldown basically to make them longer. I have feelings about this. I don't like this at all. I don't think it's fair. I mean, come on now. They're not killing the killers with their attacks, and plus Connie typically uses her ability like one time per game anyway, so how did she even get a nerf? Leland, maybe I can get it because being stun locked by Leland is really fucking annoying, but come on, guys, like, it's already hard enough for victims to get the hell out of there. They've already turned the battery on indefinitely at the beginning of the game for the killers. Like, what else is there for a victim to do to get out of this? And speaking of victim nerfs, at the beginning of the game, the little mini game, you know, where you're in your restraints and you have to tap to get out of it, well, guess what? That's going to be a little longer now. So yeah, they've actually required more taps in order to be able to escape the mini game, and it'll take longer to complete. Lastly, they brought back the 7-player requirement in order to launch the lobbies because, let's face it, having 3 victims and 3 killers is literally impossible. Now, guys, let's talk about this a little bit. Maybe I'm too quick to judge. Maybe they are working on some family stuff right now because, I mean, let's face it, it'll take a while for the game to get perfectly balanced, but it does seem that most of the community is playing family, and a lot of the feedback that they're getting is family based. So for those of you that are victim mains, I know it's really difficult right now, but maybe we can hold out a little bit of hope that probably they're going to do something good for the victims here in the future, because if you ask me, this game's very, very killer sided right now, and it's already easy enough for the killers to lock down the map if they're really good and they have good comms, like especially if they're all maxed out. But it seems to me like they need a little bit of working on the killers side as well, because they are super OP right now. I saw a comment here on the Reddit that they put for their patch notes that I agree with completely. This individual said a lot of patches just seem to be catering to the community that only plays family members. What about the fact that Cook gets level 3 on his ability? He can sit in the middle of the map and spam victims' locations over and over without a cooldown. How about Hitchhiker being able to place traps next to the ladder, giving a victim no chance? You already turned on the car battery for them, which is less work for the family to do, yet give more work for the victims. Now escaping restraints is even longer. If we're in a family's house, it's essentially unplayable now, which I agree with, guys, because playing on the family's house is literally god awful. That tiny little house with 3 killers just camping it, it's the focal point of the map. You can't get anywhere unless you go through there. It's really difficult unless you have killers that have no idea what's going on. You make it harder for victims to get out of the basement and allow family to just stay inside the small house with little escape routes from the basement. Seems unfair if you ask me. I've played both sides, and family was already much easier to play than victims. Now it's just flat out unfair. Listen, guys, as somebody that has multiple characters maxed on the family and on the killer side, I can say that I completely agree with this. This game is so much easier and so much less free for the killers that it's almost laughable. When you're a victim, like, you're struggling, right? You play a few games, you're already done. When you're family, you're just chilling. You don't even care if people escape. You're just killing people. Like, I don't know. I feel like the stress needs to be like on both sides, right? So like I said, maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Maybe they're still working on some killer stuff, but I guess we're gonna find out next time. Yo, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments on how you feel about the patch notes, the direction the devs are taking, and whether you think they're catering to just one side or not. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If not, it's all good. We love y'all anyway. Catch y'all on the next video. Peace.